I'm talking hella reckless, I won't even stress. Just kill them softly with my press, won't even address. They say it lonely at the top, but this the best shit ever. Hey, don't you see me out here shining, bitch, I'm barely flexing. I hear them talking hella reckless, I won't even stress. Just kill them softly with my press, won't even address. They say it lonely at the top, but this the best shit ever. And even if we die today, this shit gon' live forever. Live forever.
Welcome to Rainbows and Unicorns, the show where I talk about real life, because it's definitely not rainbows and unicorns. We often think that life should go the way we want it to go, regardless of our actions, and that's just not the way it works. And so today I want to talk about a few things. One of them is a concept from Andy Frisella, and the other one's a concept from Dan Martell. Listened to both their podcasts recently, and honestly, both these kind of concepts go together as far as how to get what you desire out of life and create the life that it is that you want to live. You can live any life you want to live. And we often think that because life isn't going the way we want it right now, that we're not going to be able to make the life we want. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So I'm going to start with Andy Frisella's concepts, and then we're going to go from there. Actually, no, I want to start with Dan Martell's, and then we'll go from there. So last night I was listening to a podcast from Dan Martell, and he spoke on a concept that I'm like, wow, I never thought of it that way. And the concept is reverse engineering your negative thoughts. So, for example, you look at what you want in life, right? And it's like, okay, personally, I want to lose a little bit of the weight that I gained. Now that I gained some muscle, I want to cut out. How am I not going to do that? So usually we think about how am I going to do that, right? And it's the things that we have to do to get to that point. But let's look at it from the invert, or the opposite. What shouldn't I do if I want to cut? Well, I shouldn't eat in a calorie surplus. I shouldn't eat in a calorie maintenance. I shouldn't eat in excess of carbs and fats. I shouldn't skip workouts. I shouldn't not prioritize my sleep. I shouldn't not drink water, right? And it's like all the opposites. You're literally just taking the task that you should do and thinking about the opposite of what you should be doing. And if you focus on what you shouldn't do to get the opposite of what you want, or what you should do to get the opposite of what you want, if you focus on those things that are the opposite tasks that you should be doing to reach your goal, then you're able to reverse engineer it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Tracking my nutrition is going to allow me to have control over my nutrition. Eating in a deficit is going to allow me to cut down and lose a little bit. Making sure I meet protein and calories is going to get me there. Drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleep, making sure that I'm stretching and recovering properly and not skipping workouts. Those are what's going to get me my goals. But often looking at the things that aren't going to get you to your goals will allow you to actually reach that goal. So I challenge you. Say you want to improve your relationship with someone that you care about or you love. Well, you're not going to create arguments. You're not going to constantly bring negative energy to them. You're not going to go cheat on them. You're not going to not prioritize time for them. And I think often we focus on what we should be doing rather than focus on what we shouldn't be doing. And if you focus on what you shouldn't be doing because it's negative and the brain is attracted to negatives, it's going to be like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, I got to do the opposite of this. And so it kind of makes that reverse engineering your goals a little bit easier. And now I want to go to the Andy Frisella concept. So Andy always talks about how making your dreams come true is like baking a cake. You can't crank the oven up to 500 and expect that cake to bake faster. What you're going to get is a burnt piece of crap, and it's not going to taste good, right? So you've got to make sure that the oven's at the proper temperature for the cake to bake, and that you give it the amount of time to bake. Now let's dive a little deeper into this. What are you doing while the cake bakes? That's the biggest thing. So what are you doing while the thing that's going to take a while to reach your goals is baking, essentially, right? You could be setting the table. You could be cleaning up the dishes that you use to make the cake, right? So what can you be doing while you're reaching your goals? I think about, again, fitness, right? Weight loss. And while I'm waiting or baking the cake to get to that goal, what else could I be doing? Again, prioritizing sleep, making sure I'm drinking enough water. All of these things that we don't think about that play a role into our overall health and wellness. And even diving deeper, I'm constantly thinking about longevity. The reason that I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about is because I'm here for the next 10 years. I'm here for the next 15 years, 20 years. And I'm thinking about my body when those time periods come. And I definitely want to have an easier life long term. And I think that we get caught up in making life easy right now. And I definitely am so guilty of this. I will procrastinate sometimes. I will put things off. And I literally have an internal conversation with myself where I'm like, Jesse, is this getting you closer to where you want to go? Is this supporting you 10 years from now, 15 years from now? And if the answer is no, I stop the task and I move on. Even recording this podcast, it took me a good hour just to get into a place where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to record this podcast episode, because you have to be able to switch your brain. And this is a practice. This isn't something that you're going to get overnight. And I think so often, because life is so instant, we expect these instant results to be able to get what we want right away, that we're not willing to let the cake bake. So telling yourself, having that mental dialogue, like at every task you do, is this getting me closer to where I want to be? And if the answer is no, then you know that you've got to move on from that task. If you want your dreams to come true, the only thing that's going to get you there is you, your actions. It's not social media. It's not getting a viral video. It's not meeting this person and this person getting you there. It's not this quick fix, quick, easy fat loss pill or whatever it is. Anything worth having takes time, and we often overcomplicate that process. It's very simple. Execute the small tasks that are going to get you to the goal continuously, daily, regularly. If you do that, you will reach the result, but you have to be willing to put in the time. It takes time to reach your goals. The life I'm living right now is a result of the last 9 years of work that I've been putting in. And realistically, I fucked off a lot early on in my injury. Like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And so to get me to where I am right now took me creating discipline in my life. And I'm not perfect at all. I have a lot of places to improve, and that is the beautiful thing about being human. We put so much pressure on ourselves to show up in this perfect manner. Nobody in life is perfect. Nobody has it all figured out. And the sooner you accept that and stop comparing your day 1 to somebody's chapter 20, or year 20 rather, your day 1 to year 20, you can't compare those two. That person that's at year 20 has learned so much through making so many mistakes and was once exactly where you were. The only way that you are able to create your dreams, continue to grow, continue to develop, is by doing the continuous work, by putting effort in on a regular basis, by continuing it over a long period of time, and being patient enough and not quitting before that cake fully bakes. Thank you guys for watching. If you gained value today, you know the drill. Share it with a friend. I never want to run ads for anything other than what I'm actually using. And so if you like this, please share it. If you don't, comment what you'd like to see. And until next time, this was Rainbows and Unicorns. Y'all have the best day.